Hi gang, this is Eric from Theory 12 Games. I'm here to showcase the XenoFaction Station. We're going to start with the rooms. This is the reactor core, and the control space for the reactor is right here. From this control space, you can shut down power to robotics, phasing, and security to prevent people from using the room abilities for those rooms. You can also, instead of shutting them down, if you have a unit on this control space when someone else is trying to use a room ability, contest their role with your operations skill. This will allow you to stop them from using the abilities if you have a stronger operations. Moving on to the armory here, you'll notice this has 3 control spaces. You can upgrade your weapons, you can repair your armor, or you can reload your ammunition. Moving on to the crew quarters, this is the only 2 control spaces where you do not need to roll an operations check. You have a foot locker and the crew lockers. Basically you're just searching through these things for items, so at the end of your turn you can get a free action card if you have units on these spaces. Going into the medical bay here, you'll notice the control space over here. From this control space you can get the vaccine, which is important for a mission, and it's also able to inoculate your guys against being infected on the station. Moving on to the phasing room, you'll notice control space in the center here. From this space you can phase a reinforcement onto the station, to any one of the unoccupied pads. You can phase any unit from on the station to a phase pad, or if there's any number of units on the phase pads, you can phase them to anywhere on the station. Going on to the science lab, you'll notice it has 2 control spaces here and here. From here, your guys can get combat injections, which will increase their melee, health, defense, and ballistic skills. And that'll do on an individual unit basis for the rest of the game. Moving on to security here, from the control space here, you can shut down or turn on the force bars for the cells so that you can get the extract the prisoners out, which is also for a mission. In the center here, you'll notice the command room. From the command room, you have 4 control spaces. On these control spaces, you'll see reactor, robotics, phasing, and security. From these control spaces, you can remote control all the other rooms. So if you have some guys over here and you want to shut down the force fields but you don't have anyone on this space, you can use this one to do it. You can phase people from here, use robotics from here, and use the reactor from here. Moving on to the robotics room, you'll notice 2 control spaces. From these control spaces, you can command SDM-K1 units to go attack hostile units on the station. You can create more SDM Mark 1s from these spaces here. You can increase or decrease shielding points on SDM-K1s. You'll notice the umbilicals are on the outside of the station. On the final cut of the station board, it'll have 1 umbilical. Right now it has 2, but we found that for gameplay purposes it was better to have 1. And that concludes our showcase of the XenoFaction Station. Thank you for taking the time to review this video.